Hi. Wrong stream, wrong stream. Hi! Oh shoot, everything's above me. Man, okay, hold on, wait, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I just... Oh, I put myself in a... Ah! Hey guys, it's been a while. Hi guys. I do have water today, thank you. I can finally use my things. It's good to see you guys again. How you guys been? I missed you guys. Can you tell? It's been a while. Obvious, you fickle maiden. It really is. It's been so long since I've touched this kind of technology. It's been very strange. Is that the chuckle? It's good to see you guys. Honestly, every time I take a break, I always worry, like, oh shoot, what if I come back and nobody's here? What if everyone's forgotten me? I mean, like, granted, I think that's fine, alright? But it's like, it'd be really embarrassing. I think. It's been bad. Where have you been, huh? Oh yeah, I probably should summarize for you guys, some of my recent updates. Feeling all better? No, but we'll get to that. I actually wrote down a list, right? Because I was worried I'd forget everything that there was to say, so I have a list here. um, we should know that you're all embarrassed. No, please don't do that to me. I think I would cry. Wait, I'll play some music. I have the Genshin Impact OST up on the side. I guess I could play my usual BGM, but I've had a hankering, so we're gonna play the entire OST. Yeah, we're not ending the stream till it's all done. Yeah. By the way, for the record, this playlist is 54 hours and 41 minutes. Just so you know what you're getting yourself into. But anyway. So, summarize my community post, because I posted that yesterday? I don't remember what I posted it. My sense of time has been really bad ever since I've left. I should probably also go back to regular size. So I'll, how do I do that? Hold on, I have a button for this. No, that's too small. There we go. Ah! No, I didn't mean to do that. There you go. I'm out of- wait, no. Ah! Guys, don't worry about that. Don't worry about what just happened. Very standard, typical. I don't even like my size here. Can I like make myself smaller? Hold on. Ah! I'm trying to move something. It's not moving down. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Sick. Alright, I'm gonna make myself a bit bigger. Alright. Alright. Now I fit into the screen. Anyway, to summarize my community post that I posted, probably today, perhaps. Let's see. Tuesday streams. So I would have streamed on Tuesday this week. So in 3 days. But my doctor's appointments are on Tuesdays now because it's better that way. And so I can't stream on Tuesdays. And also because I do prefer having a bit more of a break between streams. I'd rather not like overdo it over 2 days and then like not do anything for the rest of the week because it's kind of boring. All right, I'd rather spread it out a little bit. So we're gonna stream on Wednesdays again now. If you guys were here in the old days, I did used to stream on Wednesdays, so that's like, you know, it's like going back to who you used to be. Additionally, I did also say that we're probably gonna cut more Enfield out of the streaming schedule. I've been doing primarily, hahaha. I've been doing only Enfield and Arknights for the last little while, and while that's been kind of nice, I've decided after like playing Enfield that I actually don't like it as much as I kind of hoped I would. All right, and I think I'm a variety streamer at heart, and so I mean, arguably everyone's a variety streamer at heart, but you know, anyway, we're probably gonna be streaming different kinds of games. So I hope you guys will stick around for that, even if you hate the game. 54-hour endurance stream, yeah. Hi Backham Dad. Hi Dad. It's been so long. Where have you been? Where have you been? It's been so long. I do feel the same way. Recent patches have been hard heavy. Yeah, I'll probably try to catch up the story a little bit, but I won't take it like as carefully as I've been. Right? Back to Genshin. 6-7. Yeah, I'll try to do some of the more interesting content for Enfield, right? But well, sorry, song change is kind of crazy. I don't know how I feel about this kind of like villain song for my comeback stream. Maybe I'll skip this one. I like this one. This is cute. Coast to coast. Anyway, so less less Enfield. You are a villain. I like to think I'm an innocent soul, right? Anyway, so next up we have oh yeah, in case you guys missed it, although I've mentioned it like numerous times at this point, I think. You're not evil. You know, I like to leave that as an exercise for the reader. But yeah, no, so in case you guys haven't heard yet, I am going abroad for half of the year, starting in like August. You'll miss us saying welcome back, Lenny Chuckle. That would be kind of awesome. I would like to have a little guy in the corner that greets me. Yeah. Then I was picking up again if you want to make a comeback. I was thinking about it. I did see some of the stuff for it, and like the animations and the story seems to be pretty hype. Downside is I really don't like the angle that they're going for with their character designs lately in Zenless. And I worry about the power creep because I heard that the meta players are suffering for Zenless. We get even less latte. Well, okay. So I'll explain the details of my trip a little bit because I've sorted out a little bit more of the logistics. Stream once a week, then once a month on graduation. No, I mean once a week is possible and probable. Like I can't say that that won't happen, but I won't stream once a month. I'll definitely stream at least once a week, I think. Absolutely right on the character design. Okay, sorry, 2 conversations at the same time in my brain right now. Let's talk about Zenless real quick because I wanted to talk about this, but none of my friends really play Zenless anymore. But so anyway, the new girl, Ramiel. I think I liked her and she was on the trailer thing, but then I saw her design and then like, girl, her outfit covers nothing. Her outfit doesn't cover anything. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, right? But I mean, her animations are kind of cool, I guess. The character designs lately have been really bad. Did you increase the price of head pat? Did I? I don't remember if I did. I might have. I think there's a point recently-ish I adjusted the pricing, but I don't remember when. I might have though. Anyway, I might have just balanced the pricing a little bit. I don't know when I did that though. Inflation. Okay, okay. Is it really inflation when you guys are getting points? Genuinely like 200 per minute or something like that? Is it really inflation if that's the case? They're both now 100,000? Oh, okay. Jokes, dude. What can I say? What can I say? Remy also else such as a lost cause. Hello, bottom text, where's latte? Is it 200 per minute? It's something like that. It's kind of insane. Sunbringer Hersa? Oh yeah, no. Sunbringer saw her like she's like drawn differently in every art style I've seen. It's kind of crazy. It's very saddening. You're very poor. Okay, Mr. 17,000. I don't know your pronouns. But anyway, so those are my few things. Back to my trip though. So the way that I'm planning to do this, there's a little bit of a small issue with my trip. That issue being that I'm going to China, and now if you don't really know the state of the Chinese internet, they happen to have a great firewall, as you may have heard it called, as in like they you know, internet access for a lot of the world is kind of blocked for various reasons. And like Google, for example, you can't really access Google because they have their own Google there. And YouTube is also a bit of a problem in that respect. Yeah. So that might be an issue. Didn't you stream from China that one time? Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Last time I was in China, you guys might remember this was this was a really scuffed Arknight stream. I think it's still on the channel if you want to go look for it. But I was in Shenzhen at the time, and it was in the very south end of China, like close to Hong Kong, which is why the Great Firewall didn't extend there, right? And the stream on Bilibili. I could possibly stream on Bilibili. I don't think I would. I don't think I should, but I could. I say I don't like Chinese person as a Chinese person / J. I mean, you know, I think it's always more appropriate to hate your own people as a member of that populace, alright? That said, there are VPNs and stuff, and I probably can get access to the internet and like Google and stuff, alright? Because, okay, let's put it this way. I don't think I don't think I would go to China if I didn't think I could access the internet, right? Like, okay, guys, all my friends use Discord and Facebook. Nobody uses WeChat. None of my friends would use WeChat to text me. So like, why would I? Why like I wouldn't go to a place where I can talk to my friends, right? Granted, I haven't really figured out how yet, and also like the biggest issue for me is the bandwidth problem, right? I think like streaming kind of takes a lot of resources. Dad, you came back? Hey Luma, it's good to see you, Dad. We're each other's dads now. My session just expired. That sucks. So yeah, no, I'll try to figure out a way to stream on YouTube on the channel, so you guys know how to move or anywhere. Because I feel like that'd become annoying, right? So like chances are I will still stream, but it might take some time for me to figure it out. Is the idea. I'll still try to stream on my regular schedule. I should have the availability for that. I'll just have to like move it back a few hours. I'm sorry to those of you who are in the Southeast Asian time zone. I've actually I've worked out like an ideal sleep schedule. I say ideal sleep schedule. I don't know how this will work out right in practice, but because I have like certain things I want to do on like Eastern time, I've decided that while I'm in China, I'm gonna wake up at like 5 a.m. grab breakfast, and then I'll stream at like, you know, like, I mean, if you guys are on Eastern time, it's like, it'd be like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. It'll be my 6 a.m. Yeah. Kind of thing. The real dads are the dads we made along the way. Who's top dad? I'm top dad. Anyway, point is, all you guys, that's like lots of logistical information, but the point is you gotta know, I'll be streaming a little bit later, starting from August. Like 4 to 5 hours later. You right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I'll probably keep like a similar schedule is the vibe. So hopefully that won't be too bad. Hopefully you guys are you know, hopefully that's not bad for your schedule. You know, you can now you can watch Latte as you eat your dinner. Heavy Latte, she didn't even bring the milk. That's true. I don't actually have milk here. You just hit them with the classic line, you got small Facebook guys with your chat. That's the thing I'm kind of worried about. Doing research for like the China trip. Every time I've been previously has been like with my family, and like, you know, being a small child, you don't need to worry about things like, oh, how are you going to communicate with people, right? How are you going to pay for things? This time I'm hankering it out on my hankering's not the right word. I'm out there on my own, and so I gotta reserve things on my own through WeChat, and I've been practicing and learning Chinese as a result. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll get better. Smiley face. You'll live it either even later at like 3 a.m. or time I'm awake like 7 a.m. I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm really I honestly I can't think of a better option though, is the issue, right? I'd rather not be awake at 2 a.m. my time, because I'd have to like other things to do during the daytime. So that's the best option I could find. I can't watch you live 6 p.m. That's time I'm working. Aw, that sucks. Yeah, but I mean, we can always work things out later on. That's just my plan for now. 6 p.m. evening latte. It is indeed evening latte. But yeah, so that's what's gonna happen starting in August. But I won't be having a birthday stream. I mentioned before as well. Because I'm spending my birthday on a boat, guys. I'm spending my birthday on a boat. And like maybe the boat will be good. Maybe there'll be a lot of cheese. And maybe it'll be worthwhile. Cause I heard China doesn't have like good cheese the way that we do in the West. And that's very disappointing to me. Right? But I have heard there's really good bread in China. So that's my excitement. I'll try to post a lot. She's on a boat. Nice boat. Don't get seasick. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. You sticking with YouTube or sticking to Bilibili? Of course I'm sticking with YouTube. I mean, I don't want to give up on it unless I really, really, really have to, right? But we'll try to stay on YouTube. Item and gifts. I'll definitely send like pictures and stuff for sure. I'll like post frequently as much as I can. The biggest issue is like, yeah, like the internet thing. I wonder how that'll work. I heard people are like, oh yeah, you can buy an eSIM from offshores. We can get a Japanese eSIM, and then just like you access the internet by connecting to your eSIM on your phone, and that sounds horrible. Can I say that sounds really bad? And a couple keychains. I do have a lot of souvenirs I need to bring back on top of like my own stuff. All right, so that's kind of that's gonna be something. I'm gonna skip the anime opening because I don't really want vocal clues in my my thing right now. How long will your trip be? I'm there for one semester. Sorry, I don't know why I don't know why I thought about that. I'm there for 1 semester, so I'm gonna be studying there. Semesters I think there are from September to January or so something like that. Can you bring my Nian feedback? Hey, thanks. honestly, I'm really worried about how much luggage I'll have to bring back. Student exchange arc, honestly. That is the arc we're going on. It's gonna be a busy time for me, I think. Yeah. Like, imagine adjusting to cultural change, and then also, like, eating and taking care of your own, like, livelihood. Gosh. And then also trying to, like, make friends and go to class and stuff. Gosh. That's kind of hard. Although, I think if I have the time, I would like to go to, like, I was gonna say a con. I don't know when their cons are. I don't know where to look for events happen. I know Bilibili World happens in July, but that's before I go. Man. He doesn't even make friends normally. It's true. I've been spending more time with my friends, but that doesn't mean I know how to make friends. It's kind of hard. Life has a tendency to throw a lot at you. Oh yeah, but this is self-inflicted, right? I did this on my own. You'll be fine? I mean, I sure hope I will be. I hope I will be. And yet you abandon us? I won't abandon you if I'm still streaming, right? Anyway, so that's all for my trip plans that I've planned out. I have like, you know, the nitty gritty stuff I haven't really like gotten really into because that's a long time there and I can't plan out every single day like that, right? But you know, anyway, on to the other stuff that's happened since I've been gone. Since I've been okay. Like be replaced with the Chinese Luma. I don't think anyone could ever replace you, so you're safe. Sorry, I had to think about this. I keep calling you John Art. I think I should just say ACRTS. ACRTS. Hey John ACRTS, it's good to see you again. Hope you have a good time there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll definitely share lots of pictures and stuff, so be excited. Other things that happened when I was gone. First thing I wrote down is the reason the reason my voice died is embarrassing. So I don't know if I don't remember if I've explained how my voice or how I lost my voice. Enjoy this very tiny time of your life. Yeah, thank you. I will. Okay, I was trying to resist. You gotta get more Chinese. But yeah. So the reason my voice died to begin with, I was having guessed myself because I think it's kind of embarrassing. But I was recording a cover. I wanted to get a lot of recording done before I went to China because I wanted to like have content for you guys while I was abroad, and probably wouldn't have access to my recording equipment. The reason my voice died is because I was recording a cover and I didn't warm up the way that you probably should, and that's why my voice died. I distinctly remember it wasn't like anything broke at the time. It was more like I was singing and I was like, it's kind of uncomfortable, but I only have a little bit left, right? I could surely like power through to finish the last bit of it, right? Surely. And also because like I was doing it with this certain kind of like style that wasn't like necessarily the most correct, we'll say. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, I think it'd be that close to accurate. Yeah. Loading stars. That's right. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Too genuinely, it's just kind of humiliating. All the covers in the basement will be released that in. I'm hoping it will be. Now that my voice is like more or less recovered, like I don't feel physical pain anymore when I talk. I know that there's still something wrong, and I can feel that in my voice. But hopefully, if I use like a good technique, it shouldn't be too bad, right? So yeah. Remember to warm up, kids, before you sing and stuff. I actually, not that I scheduled one, but I was talking with one of my friends like sooner after I lost my voice, and I was like, oh yeah, we should do karaoke sometime because they're talking about going to the Miku concert that was in in Toronto, in Hamilton, Ontario. I was like, oh yeah, we should do karaoke sometime, and then I did that while my voice still hurt, like you know, like a fool. Awkward. So yeah, I rested for a few days after I lost my voice the first time. And like normally when your voice is sore, it recovers pretty quickly, right? That didn't really happen for me. It still hurt after a week. I was like, oh man, maybe I should go check my doctor. And then I procrastinated calling my doctor. Sorry guys. If I didn't procrastinate, maybe I'd be done sooner. But I procrastinated calling my doctor because I was really lazy about it. Also, because okay, this was like unrelated a little bit, but I feel like my doctor, she's nice. My doctor is nice. I feel like she's kind of overworked and busy though. Alright? Like, I don't dislike her. I just happen to feel like I don't get the medical care maybe that I would ideally like to have, right? Yeah. She asked about my symptoms a little bit. She like prodded my neck, right? Like stared into my throat, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll refer you to an EMT, whatever." Right? Yeah, that's ears, mouth, and throat doctor. ENT, ears, nose, and throat. I think that's right. But I was like in and out within like 15 minutes, and while I appreciate the speed, I definitely had to like ask. I had like another medical thing that I wanted to talk about, and I won't go into details about this, but it was something that I knew that I need a prescription for. And like I mentioned it to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. You can just go into the specialist. Like you just call them in." And I was like, "Don't I need a prescription or like a referral?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll give you the prescription. You can just call them though." And I was like, she showed me a ChatGPT answer on the clinic I should have contacted, and I was like, okay. When I most procrastinate or become very lazy, it's not really a girl thing, I think. But there's more nuance to it than that, so I won't say much. I'll say more if I want later. But a beautiful doctor. Yeah, no, like I appreciate her, cause like, she's nice, and that's sometimes the best you can ask for. Sometimes. Is she single? I actually have no clue. But yeah, so that was my doctor's experience. She did like okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, I didn't even know if the doctor referred me to the ears, nose, throat doctor until like 2 weeks later, because then that's when they called me, right? You're a terrible wingman. Chavitito says you're fine, so that sucks. I would hate that. Thankfully that didn't happen to me. It was just a ChatGPT response from the clinic that she wanted me to see, but like that still didn't feel very good. Recently I read a comic about a lady bringing a guy to the doctor just to say, "Oh, with all due respect, I'm worried about the symptoms too," just to get the doctor to care. Yeah, no, I heard that's a pretty like major thing with doctors. Usually it's better when you have a female doctor as a woman, right? Because women tend to care more about women's issues, but it's not like a 100% guarantee. And like I don't think that's the experience I had necessarily, but I do know that is a thing that happens, and it sucks. I took my 5 today, and they'll give me the same excuse you did for why they didn't do anything important. Sad to hear that it happens. Oh, for sure. I agree. You had to go back to the doctor again? Yeah, so the ENT doctor, the ears, nose, throat doctor, they originally scheduled me for like August. And I was like, "Sorry, I actually cannot do August. Are you booked out until then?" They're like, "Yeah, how about I get back to you in like a week?" And I was like, awesome. So I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to see the specialist for what I needed to see, right? Because at the time I didn't even know what the issue was, right? And like a week later they contacted me again saying like, "Oh hey, actually a spot just opened up in like early July, so I'm going in early July for the specialist that you might need." And like I think it's not gonna necessarily help. Okay, so how do I say this? I think I can get a diagnosis at the doctor, and I think that's what doctors are helpful for. And if you need medication, and you can get a prescription at doctors, and I think that's helpful. But for things like injuries, right, where you need things like physical therapy, doctors are less helpful, because usually what they'll do is they'll refer you to like a physical therapist, right? And so in the case, more villain music, dude, what the heck? I'm gonna skip this one. We're supposed to be happy here. It's supposed to be a joyful day. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to go to the ENT and they're gonna put a camera down my throat and say like, "Hey, turns out, Latte, you got vocal nodules and you gotta go see this other specialist for this other kind of thing." And for the record, I am pretty sure that I have vocal nodules. The doctor must be a villain. I don't even know them yet, so it's hard to say, right? But I'm a little bit worried that I'm gonna go in and they're gonna say like, hey, you're gonna have to go to this other place, but this other place is gonna have to cost money and you can't get a prescription or you can't like get medicine help. I'm pretty sure that what I have is vocal nodules, which is like essentially like blisters in your vocal cords. What is nodules? Why do you have like 3 of them? I think you can only get 2, right? It takes a while to recover. Yeah, and it's not the best, but it's not that bad, right? I did some research on my own, and most people are saying that you just need like a certain kind of technique. You need to like speak more. Well, you need to like give your throat more of a rest when you speak, right? And I think that is something that I struggle with a little bit. And so I've been trying to be mindful about talking with better technique. So yeah, that's why we're here today. I gotta practice. But no, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm reaching the 1 month mark of having it. If I do have it, I mean, there's a chance I don't. I don't want to self-diagnose or anything. But yeah, I'm reaching about the 1 month point, which means that it should be around here that it becomes better. Howdy, boss. How do you do? It's good to see you, Vale. I'm glad to see you. I'm doing all right. So, yeah. That's probably the diagnosis. I'll know for sure in about 2 weeks. But until then, I probably won't have anything that I can do, and I don't think it's very likely that I'll be able to have very good very good outcomes from the start, right? It's probably gonna be like a healing journey or something of the sort, right? But that's okay. I mean, that's what I expected. So yeah, that's my health medical situation as of right now. So hopefully that is fine, and hopefully that means I can go back to my regular schedule. It really puts into perspective for me how hard, I guess, like physically talking jobs are. I never really considered myself to have a speaking job, but I guess I do. Do not procrastinate recovery now. No, I've been doing my best to speak with to use my throat less when I speak. I think I have a bit of a habit of going into my streamer voice. We'll call it, for lack of anything else to say. But I pull out my streamer voice frequently when I want to be heard. And my streamer voice tends to use more of my throat than my regular speaking voice. So yeah. So Fragile's get better. Yeah. No, let me learn the Japanese art of kintsugi to repair my damaged vocal cords, right? But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure my vocal nodules are pretty benign. I don't usually, not usually, but sometimes people can get like polyps. I don't know if you know what polyps are, but polyps are little bumps in your throat. I'm pretty sure I don't have that. I'm pretty sure I don't have polyps. So I'm pretty sure it's just blisters. Then we're fine. That's fine. I've been taking more care to drink a lot more. My friends have been telling me that I don't hydrate enough, so I've been doing my best to hydrate more with regular water instead of well, I mean, I do drink a lot of tea still, and I still drink a lot of milk tea, but I've been trying to hydrate more with regular water instead of regular stuff, other stuff, like soda. I've actually, sorry, ignore that. That's my straw. I've developed a very good habit in that I haven't had soda in a really long time, and I'm very proud of that. I I feel like an alcoholic when I say that. People are like, oh yeah, no, I've quit alcohol. I drink socially now, and I've gotten better at my problem. No, I drink soda when it's offered to me, which is rarely, or if it's part of a fast food meal deal. But other than that, I've been very good about not drinking soda, which is really nice. I can get polyps cauterized. I think getting my polyps cauterized would be really bad, actually. You're in a broken teacup? I mean, you don't know that, do you? Yeah, we're still not bald, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the absolute state of my vocal cords right now. It definitely I don't feel like I talk very often comparatively to people who professionally speak. But I have a lot more appreciation for teachers now. I'm gonna eat a cough drop because I finished my water, and just to be safe. But teachers have to wrangle kids, right? 5 days a week for 8. My school was 9 to 3, I think. So that's what, 6 hours? 6 hours is a lot of time to talk, right? So I have a lot more appreciation for stuff like that. Now that I have I hate that everything is oh, I only learned about this thing after I got my vocal cord injury, right? But well, it is what it is. Can you hear the cough drop in my mouth? Sorry, I hear it. I don't know if it's coming from my mic or from my skull though. I guess you can kind of hear it if I play it like that. Anyway. So that's that. Also, while I've been gone, A ball latte would definitely instantly recover. I'm totally 100% medically certain. Yes, Dr. Sage. Whatever you say, Dr. Sage. But yeah, no. Aren't nodules so common though? They shouldn't be permanent and they used to super ignore the science. Oh yeah, nodules are very common. And so I am trying to be more mindful about, like, I guess, like, the problem, right? But it does also suck because it kind of puts you out of work for a while. Even, like, at the very least for the beginning. And I think part of the reason this is a bigger concern for me is because, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but, like, I think it's like 2025, February or so. Maybe it's even 2024. I think it's 2025 though. Like 2025 February, I completely lost my voice. I might have like posted about it. I don't think I streamed at all because at the time I genuinely like could not speak. Like my voice was completely gone. I could like whisper hoarsely, but that was it, right? It was that bad. And I wonder if it's related, right? Because this is a year and some afterwards, right? I wonder if at the time I had like, I don't know, something else happened to my voice. I didn't see a doctor last time because I couldn't call the doctor last time, right? I couldn't speak, and so therefore I couldn't call my doctor to say, hey, I have a problem. And my doctor is appointment only. He couldn't walk in, so yeah. That's why I didn't see the doctor last time. Now I'm thinking about it, that is kind of messed up, but anyway. Also while I've been gone, I've decided to read more. I spent a lot of time the last few weeks hanging out with my friends and reading, right? I decided to go check out the library in my area for the first time in like a decade, genuinely. Noticing a pattern here. Yeah, reading, yeah. I've been getting back into reading lately, which has been fun, right? Where do I start, man? Can you have someone else call Dr. Prio, right? No voice. Yeah, that kind of is a problem, ain't it? But, I've been reading Dracula and I'm just like goth girly. Honestly, I respect the grind. Yeah, so there's a library kind of near me, like within walking distance, I'll say, and walking distance is like half an hour. And that's very nice, right? Last time I've been there was like probably a decade ago. For various reasons, but like also because I was in school, and when you're in school, you kind of don't really want to read things. So recently since I have spare time, I decided like to go ask like, hey, is my library card still good? Right? I've had this library card in my wallet for genuinely. We're gonna skip this one because I don't want vocals in my stuff. I think this one's rewind. Anyway, so yeah, I've had my wallet. I've had my library card in my wallet for ages, just in case, right? But the thing is, because of how old it is, the plastic film on the top of the library card is like peeling, and it's like cracked and it's like stiff the way that old plastic can get. And so that wasn't really awesome. Need vocals to stream? I do need vocals to stream, but it's fine. I'll try to be more mindful about the way I talk, and I'll try to talk more carefully. Something like that. So I don't think you need to worry too much, and I'll follow the advice of my medical specialist in 2 weeks when I see them. Plus, sorry, back to the vocal thing. Like secret side objective is if hypothetically my vocal nodules get worse again, that just means the doctor will see something. I'm a little bit worried about my nodules healing by the time I go see the doctor because it's so far away that I'm worried that I'll go there and be like, you just wasted my time. And I'll be like, sorry, I swear I had something though, right? It would really suck. It would really suck if I went there and it was like, dude, we did all this for nothing. What? I would hate that. Stephen Hawkins. So I'll just gonna be an ASMR streamer. I think ASMR might arguably be worse for my voice. It's hard to say. But yeah, no, those are the things in my brain. But anyway, back to my library. I went into the library and I was like browsing books, and I don't know how to browse books anymore. I don't know if you guys, I don't know how many readers we have in chat nowadays. I don't know who reads in this economy, alright? But I don't know how to pick books anymore. I decided to start off like with like light reading, right? Stuff I read when I was younger, like a decade ago. right? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it's like, you know, like YA fantasy stuff, like whatever. You know, it's like fun. Um, but I also decided to like look into some more like challenging books, right? And I've been really interested. Well, really interested is kind of a stretch, but I've been interested in like philosophy, we'll say, a little bit. Um, and so I've looked around for like, you know, like philosophy and like science and stuff, right? A bit of politics. Um, I don't want to sound pretentious, guys. It occurs to me saying the names of these things, like I feel like just mentioning philosophy is kind of pretentious. So I don't really I don't want to like over exert right? Like I'm just chilling. But I was in the library and I saw a lot of cool books and I was like, wow, this seems really interesting. And I'd read like a couple pages and I'd be like, wow, I can't read this at all. Not that I can't read this at all, but it's like it's the kind of book where I feel like I couldn't read it for fun. It'd be a book I'd have to read for like research. There's like there's this one book in my library I thought was really interesting. It was like the personality of fascism, right? What traits in like what psychological traits might make you more or like might make you appeal to like stuff like fascism or dictatorships more, right? And that was a really interesting book, except the entire thing is full of research papers, and I don't really like reading research papers, except for I dropped my thing is playing with. Whatever, I'll pick it up later. And that was fun. Divine title, thank you. Nothing wrong with reading Nietzsche. I want to read him. I worry about reading old philosophers because it's like I worry it's gonna be too obtuse, right? Everyone vibes with philosophy. I feel like if you say like, oh, I read philosophy, it gives you a certain kind of like it makes you seem like a certain kind of person. And I don't know if I want to be that certain kind of person. Granted, I do think philosophy is interesting. Having learned your lesson about procrastinating yet? It's not procrastinating, actually, is it? I just don't really like reading research. So I ended up putting that book away. Although I did get some really interesting insights from the prologue, which I did read, the preface, which I did read. What else did I read? There was one book I picked up just because I was curious about it, and it was interesting to me. And this is one of the few books, like the few new books I did finish. I read a book called Status and Culture by David W. Marks, I believe. Pick up that thingy I dropped later. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's because I don't want to like leave the screen right now. As Nietzsche said, who's gives a damn what others think? Well, clearly I do. Clearly I do. If anyone knows you, it would make sense that you would like philosophy. Okay. I mean, I do think it's interesting that like that there is like a canon of works. I watched a video recently about some guys who are ranking classic philosophy books. Right? And I thought that one thing is really interesting is that there's a couple of books that they call like, you know, like surprisingly relevant for modern day, despite it being written in like ancient Greece or whatever, right? And that's interesting to me, and I would check it out for that reason. But yeah, no, so I am kind of worried about being pretentious because I clearly care what other people think, right? I'm worried I would become the kind of person that would read philosophy and then talk to other people about how much I know about philosophy. I'm a little bit worried about that. Because I don't want to be obnoxious, but I think I could be obnoxious, and that's the problem. Fearless video can be made on anything, I suppose. I watched it because I thought it was interesting, and I trust the creators. I think they just made it a tier list because that's what would get attention, right? You wouldn't get attention on YouTube for just talking about philosophy books you like. I put this card. This is an S tier, baby. A. Damn. I heard Descartes is what's it called? Like Reflections? I heard that was like a B tier at best. You must be cultured and read Chinese philosophy. I am actually really curious. Lately, I guess because I've been traveling for China, I've been really interested in like the differences, I guess, in like Chinese political philosophy and like Western political philosophy, because I know quite a bit now about, well, quite a bit's kind of an overstatement. I know a little bit about Western political philosophy, right? And I know a little bit about capitalism, and I know a little bit about like why capitalism and how democracy works in the West. But from what I do know, I know China has a very different belief in how the system should work, right? And I wanna research that while I'm abroad, assuming I can read enough Chinese by then, which is kind of a tall order. I spent an hour talking about the socioeconomic state of Wooly. That is true. I read the Art of War against his philosophy. The Art of War is stupid as hell. I kind of respect him for it though. If you ask anything similar in your life, your friends don't mind any philosophy talks. I think I modulate my behavior depending on who I'm talking with, right? That's a story for another time. Because I do have that partially as one of my points in my list. I said Mao's military treaties, if that counts too. Dang, okay. Dang, flexing your Chinese political philosophical knowledge. But I am really curious, and I do wanna know like differences culturally, and especially because I maybe I'm like not understanding this correctly, and maybe I don't know this very well. But I imagine because of the language barrier, there's way less of the Chinese canon that is like known in the West, right? And I wonder how different it is compared to like, I don't know, Aristotle. What's this? Sorry, I gotta check my OST every so often to make sure it's not something crazy. I think it's fine. Probably fine. It's very human of you, Copycat. Hi there, new streamer. It's good to see you, Junk Name. It's good to see you. It's not much, but it's honest work. No, I think collecting extra knowledge is very fascinating, and I would like to collect more. But unfortunately, I'm still a baby, I guess, when it comes to the world of philosophy and this kind of knowledge. So I gotta work my way up toward it. That said, I really enjoyed Status and Culture by W. David Marks. David W. David Marks? I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna stay there from September to January, which is a semester. Yeah. Granted, I'm studying something that's very, like, my major is something that's very different from politics and philosophy. Maybe it's not that different, but it's quite different, and that's a lot of learning to be doing in one semester, right? But whatever, it'll be what it is. But yeah, no, I want to briefly talk about Status and Culture. I think it's a really cool book. I think it's kind of hard to read the way that people who are pretentious like to write, but I think the author makes some good points, and it's really interesting the way that status influences culture. I thought I would consider this a solid 4 out of 5. Solid 4 out of 5, I think. You like reading and studying, so you'll be fine. Okay, but reading and studying in a different language, bro. I barely know how to read. Hold on, actually. Sorry, I forgot that I have redeems up. Oh, welcome back, Ghost of Min. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining and participating again. Yeah, that's the word I meant to say. Wow, sorry. I haven't heard that sound in ages. I'm pretty sure I don't even have alerts up on my regular streams. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry. If you only read the game tutorials. Yeah, honestly. But yeah, no, I probably only know like 1,000 or so words in Chinese, if even that. So that's probably not enough to be able to communicate in any meaningful way. Anyway. Let's tell you. Good to hear you're getting better. Your struggles sound unpleasant to say the least. It's okay. It's been alright. I've been surviving. Forgot this is your EAT membership. I do think this is kind of cute. I like having it again. It's kind of nice. But yeah, no, it was kind of bad, but I'm glad that I had the chance to talk to friends again, because usually I kind of treat my stream as my socializing time. This sounds kind of bad. But I'm part of the reason I'm not very social is because I get a lot of social value from having streams, which shouldn't be the case, mind you, but I get a lot of that from here. Do you simplify character set or the traditional characters? I read simplified, just because it's easier to write. 31 months, what the hell? That is kind of crazy. That is a long time. Having or helping with socializing. Thank you. Honestly, we're not even real crazy, dog. Um, so yeah, so this is really interesting to me because one thing I've kind of like taken for granted from streaming, and like not to say like this is a bad thing, guys, you guys are saying a lot of things. The answer to life. That's a lot of months. I've known you for almost 3 years. You can't do this parasocial. I mean, you know how they say like when you practice a script, you should practice in front of a mirror, right? This is my version of that. Why do you think we are here for the same reason? That's also fair. That's also fair. I didn't think about it that way. I assume you're here because you want entertainment, and sometimes I provide that. I don't know. Are I parasocial to you? Honestly, hell if I know. Heck if I know. I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer that question. You like to interact with AI chatbots? You are all AI chatbots to me. But we're more interesting AI chatbots is the difference, alright? Yeah. But I can't believe you're so much of years. I started joined and never left. Exactly. You're stuck here by Stockholm syndrome and nothing else, huh? But yeah, no, so having the chance to socialize with my friends IRL has been like a unique experience for me because on stream I kind of get to like talk in an uninterrupted state for essentially as long as I want, right? That's not the case when I'm talking to my friends in real life, and this sounds so bad, but it's been kind of an adjustment. It's been kind of an adjustment. I'm here because work has been rough, and I haven't had the chance to be in most of the streams since starting. So, that sucks. I hope that well, work always sucks, doesn't it? Right, in this economy. But I hope that hopefully your boss treats you nicer, and hopefully you get less work, and hopefully you get 5 times the raise. It's worth it. Do we have to interrupt you? You don't have to interrupt me. It's more like the way I talk on stream is very different from the way I was like raised to socialize, right? This is kind of like wow, maybe TMI, guys. But I've been kind of oversharing on stream for ages now, so maybe it's fine. But growing up, I always had like issues like talking to friends, right? Maybe there's a diagnosis behind that. But anyway, I essentially realized that, or decided that if people wouldn't find it interesting to listen to me, at the very least I could listen to them, and then that way it'd be like, you know, it'd be like an equitable relationship, right? Is the vibe? So I growing up with a lot of my friends, I listened to them way more than I talked, and so I never really learned to like develop speaking skills in my growing years because I felt like people hated me when I talked, and so I never wanted to try. Right? And essentially I got to a point where I was like, wow, I'm so bad at talking to people. I need a space to like learn, right? And that's functionally why I started streaming, because it's a place where you have to, well, maybe not have to, right? But like it's a place where you're almost forced to talk to yourself for hours on end, right? And having to formulate your ideas and like follow through with them is something that like I think is really valuable, right? We're likely forget what you overshared in a few hours. My manager gave me a new contract to sign. Remuneration remains unchanged. You gotta negotiate that, Sage. You gotta negotiate that. I like a race. I'll take Chinese rocks, please and thank you. Honestly, I'll send so many photos of rocks while I'm in China. That'd be so. And birds, rocks and birds. It's an admin job because I need money to live. Yeah, it is what it is. Remuneration payment. Your pay is not changed. That sucks. But yeah, no, so I essentially started streaming just because I wanted to be able to talk more and not just listen, right? And now that I'm in a place where I'm talking to people again, particularly in like with new people and settings I'm unfamiliar with, I have to like balance this newfound ability to yap for hours and hours and hours with the like the habit I've grown up having of like only listening to people and like participating minimally, right? It's kind of hard. You're more social than me was. There's no way. I don't think I should. I don't think I am. I don't feel like I'm very social. I find it very hard to be social. Most of my friends are there because my friends have introduced me to friends. Oh my gosh, like another removed. What was this do? Open a wiki feed page? Man. Man. That does suck. No, genuinely, work is so hard to find in this economy. I find it's horrible. It's horrible. Season, you're still not very talkative in real life. Yeah, it's debatable. I think what happens is because I tend to like go on really long and like deep tangents on stream, that bleeds over into real life, and I think I weird people out. I think when I talk to people in my life, I think they're kind of like freaked out by how, like, pardon me, how autistic I am. I think people are a little bit freaked out about how much I can talk about, like, bro, I don't know, society, dude. Funny enough, that would make you money. I think you should find a job that dignifies you, though. I wouldn't say you should do anything for the money, right? If you feel like there's dignity in sharing, like, you know, your feed on WikiFeed, whatever, then you should do that. But I think if it's something you're, like, opposed to doing, then don't, right? It's better to find a job that you would find joy in, right? You should see one of your streams and that's the one right about eggs. I haven't ranted about eggs in a while. I need to do more research on eggs before I can speak on eggs again. It's a shame. Sorry, my jam just came up. Anyway, so yeah, no, socializing has been a trip. Especially also, I started like tabling at conventions a couple months ago, right? And then there's a different kind of like, they say there's a different kind of socialization that's had to happen as a result, where I had to talk more about myself. I learned most people aren't into the history of paper making. That's the thing, right? It's been so hard. Posture check, madam? Oh shoot, you're right. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. What is my brain? Sorry. Had to stretch. So, I've been very lucky in that most of my friends are willing to listen to me talk about really weird and niche things, right? Kind of quite cringy in a funny way. I'm sure real fans will be like, who is this person? I've seen this. Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's something about it. That's a true friend. Dude, you must understand. Most of my friends join me for like 15 minutes of a stream, if that. There's a reason you haven't seen any of my IRLs in stream, and it's because they stay here for 15 minutes and then they leave because they can't stand listening to me for that long. Being friends with two, surprised there's two of them, walking trivia encyclopedias. I tend to just enjoy talks like that. Maybe there's a lot of yes, I think I listen to. Fair enough. I think like one thing I've had to like grapple with is that how like little I know about people in general, right? How do I say this? Oh, you imagine your friends leaving too? No, I'm sure not. I'm sure that's not the case. I can't imagine it would be, at least. But yeah, no, like being someone that is interested in like people and like curious about learning about people, it's kind of like shocking to me when people share anecdotes of normal people life. If that makes sense. I don't know if you've seen that one. This is one TikTok that's been around, and it's just like when two with two girls and no personality like meet or something like that, and it's essentially like it's a skit where this one girl pretends to be two girls, right? And she's like, "Oh my god, what's your name?" Right? "Oh my god, we share the same birth month. Oh my god, your outfit's slay," right? And that's like the whole exchange. I wonder if that's reductive, but also I feel like I've heard anecdotes of people talking like that IRL, and that's how they make friends and how they stay friends, right? Through like relatively shallow interactions. I don't want to like badmouth people I know, but I feel like I have friends whose like we'll say like the only way they communicate is through inside jokes and games, right? And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think if you find social like value in that, I think it's great, right? But I feel like I couldn't do that, right? If I knew people and the only thing we did together was play games and like repeat phrases essentially that we've like shared for ages, I'd find that kind of boring and like shallow, right? And so I've had to grapple with the fact that some of my friends are kind of like that, and because I was hanging out with some of them recently. It was a group of 2 friends where I know I can like yap for hours with, and then one other friend that I wasn't so sure about. And then within that group, I was thinking like, wow, I feel like I can't talk about anything of depth because every time I start, I feel like I'm shut down immediately, right? Garbage battle theme, hell yeah. And only because I don't talk to people who are loud. It's only because either purple or not the same. I don't feel like I'm very lonely nowadays. I think I've actually developed a pretty good circle of people now. The chat streamer relationship isn't a healthy relationship. You shouldn't rely on it for anything. Oh, of course not. I'm not relying on you guys. I'm just externalizing words because I haven't like said them, right? How do I say? It's kind of awkward to talk to your friends about another friend. It's because it sounds like gossiping, right? For you guys, it's more like a clinical like, this is what happened to me. I wonder why it is like that. So you don't need to worry. I rely on you for my social energy only. But yeah, no. We're very healthy for you. Says the person called Infected Audrey. I wonder if there's a I love gossiping. Me too. Honestly, gossiping's kind of fun. To me, how recently I was even worse than I'm pushing aside. Now I'm just distancing myself in a circle. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like social relationships are so strange. I haven't had this experience in a long time because I prefer one-to-one talks with people. Because I think it's more interesting that way, and I think you get to know more about the other person this way. Devil. But like now that I'm hanging with like small groups again, it is really interesting the way that social dynamics change, right? You hear the social creature living his pain. It really is. It's like there's such nuance, right? I think there's a lot of people who that's not the way to say it, right? But I feel like you guys know how like interactions between things are always more complex than the things themselves, right? People are already so complex, and think about how complex it must be for the system of interactions between people, right? That's cool. That's really cool. But yeah, no, my point is I was talking to one of my friends in a group, and even though I can talk to everyone else in the group very casually and about like, you know, weird deep and niche topics, it felt like because one of my friends there wasn't very interested in anything I had to say, it felt like the entire group dynamic was way more awkward than usual, right? Group dynamics are a pain. I usually take the backseat and let them talk, but when it's 3 or so people, I usually take the lead. Yeah, I think for me, I enjoy it more when I am like part of the control, I guess we'll say. when I get to share the control with like the other people that I want to talk to. But I think when it becomes the point where there are people who prefer to talk about other things, right? I like it less. Right? Like you enjoy more when like things are tailored to your experience, right? I think that's fine. But it's definitely novel for me. It's definitely novel to have to like think about like, I didn't enjoy this hangout as much as I thought I would because, you know, this one person kind of like ruined the vibe. And I didn't really appreciate that. And like I don't think I should bring it up to them because like I feel like they would just take it badly, right? So like what I do now, I can't exclude this person because they're part of my friend group, right? Maybe I should just try harder. Maybe the problem is with me and not this person, right? I legitimately only have one group dynamic where we're all equal, and if someone gets cut off, we'll all go back like, what did you want to say earlier? I love those guys so much. Yeah, I do think that kind of like friendship dynamic is probably the best, right? If everyone can be treated equally and like you're given like people who aren't as likely to speak up are like given the attention, right? I had the same thing, but if I were to bring it up, it's like bad vibes or something. Yeah, no, it's like these social things. I haven't experienced them in so long, and it's kind of novel. It's kind of nice, right? If you guys can't relate, that's all right. If you guys, I mean, honestly, all the better for it, right? I've had friends talk to each other while I just want to go home for like more than an hour. Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. There's a book I was really interested in recently. This is relevant, I promise. Um, that I can't borrow it because it's not available as an ebook from our library. But I'm planning on getting it then at some point, or like I don't know, borrowing in the physical book. But it's called Politics Without Politicians, right? I think it's a very radical stance, and I think you don't have to necessarily agree with it. But I was really curious because it's such a radical stance, and I felt like the doctor, I felt like the author was pretty educated, and I wanted to see why they had to say that, right? And from when I read about the preface or chapter one, maybe it was, I don't know. But from what I read about the preface, it was that democracy is broken because a lot of people who are marginalized or don't feel like they have the capacity or the like agency to speak up, right? People who feel like they have less of a voice than other people, those people are frequently excluded from positions of power because the role of a politician is almost exclusively for people who are willing to like speak up and be loud, right? And I was thinking about that in the context of social dynamics, how people who aren't really wanting to speak up are frequently excluded from things as like because of their like shyness, right? I was thinking about that. It's really interesting to me, and I wonder, like, I don't know, I would like to develop that idea further. That's it. That's all I had to say. I've also aside from reading a lot more, I've also decided to start like writing a lot more because I think I have a lot of ideas, but a lot of the things that I think are kind of half-formed, right? Because of the internet era. Because every time I develop a thought that's interesting, I open my phone and suddenly the thought evaporates from my brain, and suddenly I'm not thinking about anything anymore. And so I've decided I should start like writing down some of my ideas and some of the things I think, because I think it's useful for me to look back onto later, right? When the latte novel, I don't think I'll ever write a novel. This is just like I guess like mini essays from my own thoughts, all right? Also, I get bored of writing after a while. I was writing something like a while, like yesterday, I think. I wrote like 700 words in like an hour, and I got really bored after that, so I stopped. Even though there's more to write. Horrible. Pro tip: ask about sorry, ask about a good thing, something that you're working on, and one bad thing, what's going on, and boom, you got talking points, Steves. When you want to get over small talk. I don't know. I don't really like asking or talking about people's work, though. That's the thing. I think like working is really sorry. Do people still blog? I think some people still blog. People use Substack now to blog. And I think some people have written really interesting papers on Substack. So I think I'd check that out if that's something you're interested in reading. Have you back, Queen. Please don't leave us if we kick that again. Thank you for staying around, you guys. I appreciate you. It's nice to have an audience to my brain cells. But yeah, no. So back to the thing about what Luma said about like asking one thing they're working on. I think that's helpful. I think that's useful for sure. And I think for a lot of people this is like enough. But me personally, I find that, how do I say, work kind of puts you into a stereotype almost, right? I like to know you guys in this context because I know you guys outside of your work. Right? Know is a different, no is a strong word for this, right? But I appreciate that you guys exist here more as like individuals rather than like roles. Does that make sense? Right? You guys collectively are a person, and I think that's more interesting than somebody who is a pharmacist. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but I personally find that people, when they talk about their work, the conversation ends up being about work, right? And I feel like I don't enjoy talking about work. Is the vibe. Probably something like that. Or you can take yourself number one. No, I'll probably stay up for as long as I can. I'll come back. Thank you, Joshua Kitsune. Appreciate that. No, I'm a real boy, I tell you. Yeah. It's better when you talk about hobbies and work. That's what I'm thinking, right? That's kind of the vibe. Like I feel like when people talk about work, it ends up being a lot of complaining about coworkers, complaining about the scope of your work, complaining about your bosses, complaining about things. And like complaining is fine. I don't mind that. And I think there's a lot of very worthwhile things to complain about when it comes to work. But I also feel like when you put yourself into the box of like just who you are when you work, you're like almost like it's almost like you're stereotyping yourself, right? and in a sense that makes you less interesting because you are a product of the thing that the corporation that you worked for, right? I don't know. That's just kind of like the vibe that I have. Just to make the listeners lies. Also, people have interesting jobs. I think when you have an interesting job, there can be merit in talking about work because it's something that you don't normally see, right? And that's where the interest comes from. Whereas otherwise, I think it's more about like, I don't know, more like menial things. You know, like a lot of judgment assessments assigned to work, but people fall into the work based on opportunity and risk assessment, not passion. So true. That's a great thing to say. And I think like because of that, like subconscious judgment, partially there's a yeah, it's like you're both stereotyping yourself and other people are stereotyping you at the same time. I feel like that's not really a great, it's not a really great social vibe. You start sharing IRL comfortably, you only know the online side of the person. Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know stuff I told you as Lars, and I know stuff you told as Latte, but you know IRL because of that. Exactly, and it's like there's a little bit of like a performative aspect to that, but I think that's really interesting. So psychoanalyze and boom, now I know everything about you. I don't know, right? Like, I think people have more, like, the thing is, I find people... Okay, this is gonna sound terrible, right? This is gonna sound terrible. But I find people kind of boring when you psychoanalyze them. Because in a vacuum, I think people all have similar, like, things, right? People have similar motivations. People have, like, similar... like dreams and ideals. Okay, dreams and ideals maybe not, but like people have similar motivations. People have like certain like different reasons for why they do the things that they do. People generally, you know, dislike change. People generally dislike new things, right? New people. People dislike, you know, oppression, stuff like that. And a lot of people, things that people complain about when it comes to work are related to those things, right? And I feel like that's not so interesting. I'd rather hear about what they think, right? How they think, why they think, right? You're always terrible, what do you mean? Aw. I appreciate that. Things they love because they actually base their lives and free time around. Some people work in the fields they're passionate about. Exactly. But that's not, yeah, that's 90% of people don't. Factual. We just have our new Archetypes event in Archetypes that they're on. Oh, God bless. I was hoping I would be, I was hoping I wouldn't come at a really awkward time for Archetypes events. You're not cool enough for a latte? I think you guys are cool because you're here because you want to. Oppression in my latte stream? I think you tend to open up and talk about stuff that you wouldn't be comfortable to talk about real people because they're kind of awkward to bring it up to a real person. That is also true, yeah. There's a bit of like a perception of safety when it comes to online interactions, for sure. More likely than you think, it's true. My group is a quiet one, but we do listen to him. I can't really be in his shoes, but I think you're so close to each other, you don't really hesitate to speak up. Oh, for sure. I think if you have a friend group in which everyone is very close and you're very like open and willing to talk to each other, that's really helpful. And I think it does help if people are willing to share what they think about, right? And that does play a part in it. There's like a lot of nuance in social stuff, dude. It's a lot of nuance. It's really crazy. I try to poke at people's passion, and sometimes I'm shoved to the side and they just leave me to talk about someone else the exact same topic. Oh, that sucks, yeah. I think it's because a lot of people are forced to like push down their passions almost for like survivability's sake. At least that's something I've noticed, especially with older people. It's time for caffeine supremacy. Always. Man, I should get my brother to give me another cup of water. Or maybe I take a break for water. I don't know. But if I get water now, it's gonna be boiling hot, and I don't want to drink boiling hot water. Life is so hard. Life is so hard. I really need to figure out a different system for, like, stream and water consumption. Water? I have no... Oh, actually, I do have, like, a tiny bit. I was a young lad. My brother's been kind of... My brother's been pretty interesting lately, actually. Was it shrimp or again? It might just be exclamation point shrimp. I'll check for you real quick. Oh, no. Oh, it's unshrimp. It's unshrimp. Sorry, you don't want to make somebody a shrimp. You have to unshrimp somebody. You're right. You're right. You're so right, Latte. Thank you. I know how to be a model gives you a kind of armor and a set of pseudo-anonymity is very strong, even as it might not actually be strong. Exactly. That's a good point. Streaming gives a weird buff to social confidence. You know, they chose everyone to be there and they're always free to leave, so you never feel bad at the topics you choose to talk about. Exactly! That's actually... I never thought about it that way. That's really interesting, but I like that. I want to turn Latte into a shrimp. Oh. I should make a redeem that's shrimp, and then all it does is replace my model with a shrimp. Considerations. But yeah, no, my little brother's been pretty good lately. He's been having to deal with like exams and stuff. And my brother likes to talk about school the way that people talk about work because it's a really like invasive part of his life. And invasive is maybe not the right word, but he's been telling me a lot about because he can I say this? He's under a special stream, we'll say, right? A special like school stream, and so like they have different tests and stuff. And it's been really rough on the kid, right? Because like I feel like that's a lot of pressure for someone so young. And he's been telling me a lot about like, yeah, no, my school, like if you get a 22%, you can round it, like it can be curved up into a 70%. And I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That'd be a thing of beauty. Different friends that speak about different things, got to meme, sports, and life. That is true. I have heard a lot of people say that it's good to have different circles of friends to talk to about different things. And I think it's something that's worth looking into, but I need to have friends first. And so far, all my friends are just everything friends. And maybe that's not healthy, but I don't know. I don't have other friends. Chocolate shrimp, that sounds unappetizing. Become flat, get wide. Then shrimp and mole sauce? Mole sauce? Chocolate sports, World Cup's happening apparently. I know nothing about sports. What are everything friends? Friends I talk about literally everything with. Those are my everything friends. So your friends, you don't seem to do a lot of collabs. No, I have how do I say this? Recently, because I've been spending time in Artist Alley, how do I say this? There's a bit of a joke that the pipeline from artist to streamer, like to like specifically VTuber, is a straight line, right? And as a result, a lot of my friends from... A lot is a strong word. I have made, like, 2 friends from Artist Alley. But, like, my friends from Artist Alley, a lot of them have, like, streaming, like, circles, right? Either they do stream themselves or they have, like, friends who stream. Alright, and, like, that's cool. But I felt very awkward about approaching them for that topic because I think there's a different, like, there's a bit of, like, an intimacy, almost, in knowing somebody's, like, streaming life compared to knowing their like average daily life, right? Seeing them in person. Because I don't follow. Do you see you as something more an artist than a singer? I think I'm more of an... God, I'm gonna sound it's back to being pretentious again. I think I'm more of an artist, right? Because while I do different kinds of art, I think I approach my art with more artistic vision. Isn't that bad to say? I don't want to insinuate other people are like worse artists than me, right? But I feel like I have a certain kind of like intentionality in the way that I do my art, singing or music, like drawing otherwise, that I don't know is necessarily apparent in everyone else who does that. You should do art stream more often. I don't really like doing art streams, in part because I can't talk while I draw. Oh, we're starting to stop now. No! Don't stop drawing. Don't stop drawing. There's no chances in real life to listen to your friends' stream consciousness thoughts for 600 hours. It's true. But yeah, no, because I've been talking to more people lately, I've noticed, like, patterns in the way that people, like, make art, right? And I don't want to, like, look down upon them. I don't want to, like, seem condescending or anything. But I think there's a lot of people who create art because it's, like, socially, what's it called? Admired, right? Socially appreciated. People who draw because, you know, their friends draw, and it's, like, it's fun to draw with your friends, and it's fun to talk about art with your friends, and it's fun to, like, draw things for your friends, right? I found out that there's a lot of people who do things like that. Shrimp check, no shrimping. Don't worry, I'm unshrimped right now. You tell her to get better latte, that's how she started? It's true. And so, like, I think that's really cool, right? People who do things because, like, it's something that they do socially. But I don't think I draw socially at all. Like, pretty much none of my art is done with a social intent. I do it all because I wanted to, like, reflect myself in some way. Whoa, that's crazy. Anyway. And, like, in a sense, like, I'm very selfish in that regard, in my art, in my creation of art, and my pursuit of art. And I think there's like kind of like that's just like who I am, right? What does drawing art socially even mean? People who draw art for the sake of like doing things socially, right? I have a lot of friends that do cup sleeve events, and so like that means like they find a venue, they like host events, right? They draw with each other, they create a theme to draw together with, and they create merch on them, and they sell that, right? And then it becomes an opportunity for them to hang out in real life, right? And not only are they bonding over the activity of like drawing, but they're also bonding together in the form of like in-person social activity. And that's something that I just don't find, like I don't see myself doing at all. I can't imagine making art for friends or social thing I do for myself and the occasional story video myself. I respect that. I respect that. Cool SRs such looking cool. I wish I could stream my ego. Yeah, co-op multiplayer art. Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of co-op multiplayer art. Wow, you guys are drawing socially. I studied the brush. Making art MMO. To be fair, you don't really socialize, Latte. Yeah, and I think that's like part of my personality, right? Cool video of the guy. I'll recommend another one because I watched this while I was on break as well. One guy's talking about how the art you create reflects your personality, right? And he goes into like the kinds of arts he's like the kind of artists he's seen, and like the personality traits that they tend to fall under, right? And I think it's a really interesting video. I don't know how accurate necessarily it is. It's anecdotal, but I would recommend checking it out if you're curious. I think it is just like how your personality influences your art or whatever. Anyway, can we have a multiplayer drawing stream like Magma or something? I've definitely thought about it. I've definitely thought about it. You know, like art trades and stuff. Art trades is another thing that my friends do. Yeah. Even though I can't draw, I think the fun of Magma is drawing socially, though, right? It's not about creating art; it's about creating something social, right? Anyway, my point here is that I think a lot of people who draw socially maybe aren't like from a technique perspective the most advanced, but they do it because it's fun, right? And I think that's something that's like admirable. I don't draw because I think it's fun. Genuinely, I don't know if I draw because it's fun. I draw because I think it's a reflection of myself and like a reflection of the things that goes on my head. I actually don't know if I find art fun. I don't. Is drawing fun? Is drawing fun? I don't know, guys. I don't know if drawing is fun. Super Saiyan hairs to everyone's drawing. True. Green theme I love it. This is GOAT. Charlie me artist, your art deserves way more attention. You're calling me art because crazy. Thank you. But yeah, I don't even post like half my art because of how like little I care for the social aspect of it. You're a suffering kind of artist. You draw because you like to see cute things come to life? I actually don't think that's why I draw. I don't draw because I want cute things to come to life. How do I say this? I draw everything with a really unique intent. The bell curve, she is a true artist. How do I say this, guys? I don't wanna, like, okay, I'm gonna sound pretentious again, so, like, bear with me. But, like, pretty much all my art, at least the stuff that I like, I can't, okay, how do I say this? I can't draw unless I like it. Like, unless I like the idea behind it, right? So if you've seen some of my monthly arts that, like, aren't as good, it's because I haven't thought about as much about it and I don't like it as much, right? And so, like, a lot of my work has, like, nuance and thought behind it, right? I'm trying to think of it like an art. Like, hold on, let me like my OBS. Like this one right now, it was like this piece right here. It's gone now, but it's basically about like the feeling of like the freedom you can feel under blue skies, right? That's an older piece, and so there's less to say about it. But it captured a specific feeling that I felt really resonated with me. Yeah, always potentially mean true. I draw because my childhood dream is to be an animator. What category does that fall into? Well, that's like, why did you want to be an animator, right? Did you want to like express feelings that is in animation? I think a lot of people do animation because there's a certain kind of like nuance in the movement that captures and elicits feelings, right? Because like for you, the art is in the movement, not necessarily the individual drawing. Something like that. I don't know. You never stop, Big Al. True. I think it's cool seeing my little guy move. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to know more about you as a person, I think, in order to answer that question, to be honest. Right? But, like, I think every like is preceded by some kind of feeling, right? Every time you like something, it's because it gave you some sort of feeling. that like really resonated with you, right? If the feeling was just that it was cool, maybe something like about like being cool, having like movement, being cool, really resonated with you, right? I don't know. Usually do a good job communicating the thoughts and feelings behind your monthly art posts. Most of you who've been here should see what you mean. Yeah, I guess you could just like scroll back into my monthly art posts and see what I mean. That's right, that's true actually, factual. I miss Genshin, why are you 100 plus gigabytes? Do what I do, download the Genshin Impact cloud service, and then just play it on the free 15 minutes they give you every day. I do have it also installed on my PC though. It's now 100 gigabytes, holy cow. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of games now that are 100 gigabytes, it's really messed up. I think Genshin is like, so far, like one of the best games bang for buck wise. The monthly art posts are pretty cool, thank you, I appreciate that. You play for 15 minutes every day like lunatic? No, what you do is you stock up in hours. Or you stock up in the 15 minutes, right? We save until you have the maximum amount, like 800, 600 minutes, something like that. I can't even enjoy farming like that. Yeah, no, you just stock up on your hours, and then you play one big session, and then you stock up every day until you have another 6 hours to play with. Trust me, it'll work out. Maybe it's 10 hours, actually. Never mind. Anyway, something like that. But yeah, no, I think in that sense, I'm a bit more of an artist. And that's just like in visual art. I think when I do song covers, I have like a very specific vibe I want to go for. I can't really always execute it because there's like a lot that has to come in mixing, but at least in the performance aspect, I try my best to capture the feeling, I guess. Alright? Did you watch the Shazam trailer? Hell yeah, I did! Sorry. I watched it when the day came out. Wow, that was so good. I'm so excited. Dude, sorry. We're gonna talk about Genshin Impact real quick. Non-Genshiners, be aware. Dude, the slide dash that you can do with the gun. Oh, dude. I've been thinking about playing Apex Legends again, but I think I don't have to anymore because now Genshin Impact has it. Oh my god, dude. Holy moly. Genshin has been mobile friendly because hundreds get, yeah. On mobile, I'm pretty sure it's like way smaller because the textures that they use are way smaller. I don't know the details behind it. I don't have it installed on my phone because I have other things on my phone that are bigger. You guys are finally releasing Shazam 9. Yeah. It's coming out in August, I believe, while I'm on my trip, which is so... it's so maddening. I'm gonna spend... Genuinely, guys, if I skip a stream, it's probably gonna be because of like Genshin Impact in the PC cafe or something. And like get guns and so Chelsea can't reinstall. No, I'm so excited. I can't express to you how excited. Dude, my goat... child Genshin Impact is finally coming back into the game, and he's coming. Okay, sorry, I have a lot of things to say. This I should temper myself. I want to get to become Gears of War. It'll probably be game mode and not free roam FPS. I think we could at least get the skin. I think what it'll probably be, it'll be like a region exclusive thing. I think it'll be like they've kind of insinuated that there's gonna be a murder mystery on the train that they. By the way, can I say I'm so excited? So. One of the developer streams for Genshin Impact, they talked about how they had to like create a train system and like essentially schedule trains and like basically manage how you could get from place to place via train. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Having like a plan to, okay, granted, it's probably not gonna be that like robust. It's probably gonna be like between like a handful of destinations at best. But that's really cool. That's so cool. I'm so excited. Dude. Sorry. I need to wait for a train. You probably don't have to wait for a train, right? I'm just excited for the prospect that the train is scheduled, right? I can't imagine how that would be the code, right? This train's gonna be late or else. Train should impact. Yeah. I think like you could probably still travel otherwise, right? But I think having a train is so cool. I think most games have it like on like you know, when you hit a certain location or objective. I don't think they have them like free roaming over this like over the world, right? That's so interesting. Oh, this earth-shattering technology. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm really excited. I think like it's rare that you have like full systems, I guess, within games because games have to cut things down a lot. So I'm very hyped. Going back to time-based world transfer, like old school Maple Story and World of Minecraft. True. Sync it up to server times. That'd be kind of funny. But anyway, I really thought I would drop Genshin after I got done pulling the coal. Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Maybe I'll hang on a little bit longer. Yeah, and there's a lot of things I think about Genshin. I really like playing the game. It's one of my favorites. My favorites of all time. My goat. 7 a.m. Anything more than the train leaves without you. I saw a preview of their like Grand Central Station, I guess, right? It's based off of one of the train stations in Moscow. It looks really grand. I'm very excited. Is she gonna bully girls again? I would never bully girls. I would never. Zeppelins and boats in World of Warcraft vehicles show up on set schedule, usually 2-3 minute cycles, and give instant travel between set locations. I think I won't. I think Genshin will probably like have a. What song is this? We're gonna skip that real quick. Sorry, voice actors. It seems like you're dropping Enfield. We're not dropping Enfield. We're gonna continue with it. We're probably just not gonna play it as much. You're gonna just bully. You always bully girls. I would never bully girls. But yeah, no, it seems like there's gonna be like play. What do you call it? There's probably gonna be gameplay on the trains, right? I heard that I'm very excited for murder mysteries, guys. I love murder mysteries. It seems there's also being like class warfare in Shiznaya, which is part of the trailer. I'm so excited for that, right? You know, heavens and earths, right? The battle between that is very exciting for me. What's the fun if you can't ride the train like in real life? Exactly. Again, murder and Genshin explicitly. I don't know about explicitly. I don't know. I feel like we've had explicit murder in Genshin Impact for a while now. Think about the time in canon where Sandrone cuts out a man's tongue because she displeased him. Or he displeased her, sorry. Wow, what exciting stuff. Anyway. Back to my regular scheduled talk though. Sorry guys. Other stuff. Oh yeah, one other thing that's happened. There really hasn't been a lot that's been happening. I haven't really been able to like. How do I say? Every time I go outside to talk to friends, I have to take like 3-4 day break. The new one, so 100 plus gigabytes. No, it's not that new. This one's from Fontaine era. This one's like 3 years ago. But anyway, because I haven't been able to go outside or do a whole lot lately, I've also started playing Deadlock, which is problematic, we'll say. You know, I quit Valorant 2 years ago. I kind of promised myself I probably wouldn't get into another competitive game. Well, here we are. Yeah, what do you mean right now? Guys, don't be mean. Don't be mean. I started like 3 days ago, okay? I started like 3 days ago. But I've been really enjoying Apollo. Haven't touched it yet though. I think it's surprisingly fun. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I think a lot of popular games kind of have like this kind of like gritty, realistic style that I'm not a big fan of, but I really like the Deadlock is, you know, kind of like it's like low-key anime, you know? A shame, what a shame. How the heck are you real? What do you mean, how am I real? How am I? What do you mean by that? I think he's cute. I think he's cute, and I like that he gets air stall for 5 years. I think it's funny. I've seen Apollo's ult. I have seen his ult. I can't lie. I really like the double twink. He's really cute. Doorman might want to play Deadlock so much. Doorman seems really fun. I do like that his ult just puts you into the hotel. I think that's really silly. Canonically Graves' lab partner, but I like that's awesome. And mobile problem back in the day, not only do multiplayer with friends, gotta make somebody free during the day. Yeah, that's fair. I think like MOBA as a concept, like after playing a little bit of Deadlock, I can't understand why it's a really addicting genre, right? I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. So hard for me that even as an ardent MOBA player. It does seem really hard because like not only do you have to do like ability timing and stuff, like League of Legends is primarily based on like positioning and like abilities and what you buy and like how you play the lanes, right? Deadlock is a lot more about like actually hitting your shots. There's a lot more of it that's like actually being able to like, you know, have impact based on mechanical skill. And I feel like League of Legends, granted I've never played League of Legends, I've installed the tutorial and I played the tutorial probably like twice and I've never played past that. I'm pretty sure League of Legends is less about mechanical skill. Completely different rhythm to your usual MOBA's IMO. Okay, interesting. I don't really understand that, to be honest. I don't know what that means. Um, but like lately, I have like done a little bit of, like, research into it because I wanted to, you know, hashtag get good, right? Um, it does kind of seem like the characters that are really meta right now are the ones I kind of don't care to play for or care to play. Like Bebop. Bebop I heard is very good. Uh, and I can't lie, I was playing Street Brawl. I think it was like yesterday. The stupid, stupid enemy Bebop kept sticking bombs on me and took out half my HP every single time. Stupid as hell. Stupid character, dude. You guys want me to play what you want, Queen? I mean, clearly you guys think that, you know, Apollo is a very, we'll say fascinating choice. I don't know. I think the character's fun, though. I will say his range disappoints me time and time again, but whatever. I never once dropped Rem, even after he's nerfed. My son will be always my side. Rem is really cool. I hate playing against Rem, but I really like having a Rem. If that makes sense. The character designs in general are damn good. Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of like really different characters and styles, I think. They all have like different, you can like, they're different traits, right? It's really interesting. Oh, Val's a hard character to comprehend. I'm surprised you're good with him. Oh, okay. I think he's pretty easy, actually. All you gotta do is jump around and press E, or press 3. That's an amazing sport, much like his dad. Who's Rem's dad? Val still got it when they actually make a game. That's crazy. I wanted to like Vindicta, I think, as well, because like she's also kind of my type. You know, blue ghost girl, that's really cute. Blue is kind of close to purple, right? The issue is Vindicta she feels quite bad. Her ult is called Assassinate, but I've never seen it do more than 300 damage. Even in the training range. Vindicta's me hard because you need to aim. Dude, I played Valorant and Apex Legends. I was really bad at Apex, mind you, but like I played them. I think I can aim. But yeah, no, Vindicta doesn't seem very good to me. Which is a shame because she flies and I like mobility. The other one I played a little bit was Seven because, like, you know, he. I don't know the pronouns. But Seven's like a very like classically standard good character, and also they do not, dude, their ult is like a huge orb of no. It's messed up. Don't use on someone with a lot of health. I mean, yeah, I get that, but I still feel like I've never seen it do a whole lot of damage. It's kind of annoying. Only execute? Yeah, no, I get that, right? But like, I don't know, maybe I just didn't read the description, right? I played her like twice and I was like, well, it doesn't feel very good. Balanced sniper, I guess. Screaming, crying, throwing up. Yeah. Who else is there? I have a friend who really likes playing Billy and Viscous, right? Which fits their personality. I think Viscous is a funny character in concept. I would like to have a Viscous on my team pretty much all the time, I think, in general. Hi, Nico, it's good to see you again. I'm glad you're here. Seven's also easy target to stun. Always love studying all things 7. Yeah, but when you're playing like low elo, right? Nobody knows how to deal with that, so it's fine. I have been kind of enjoying Street Brawl because I think there's a lot of really stupid busted items. I'm thinking about the anvil. That you could drop an anvil on somebody. And then that can upgrade into a piano. That's funny. My friend's amazing. The Lash you play again. Lash is kind of crazy. I kind of like the play style. I just don't think he's cute enough. Sorry, I'm not a Lash enjoyer. Who else is there? Lady Geist. I think it's because, okay, I don't really like playing against Lady Geist. I've never tried playing Lady Geist, but because I play Apollo, and I'm pretty sure she's a character who doesn't really need to aim, maddens me to no end, dude. I hate that character. That's stupid as hell. What do you mean you don't need to aim in a third-person MOBA shooter game? Messed up. My elo's technically low, but because I keep playing with my friends who are in high elo, I'm always thrown into high elo matches. Oh, that sucks. I need to like, I don't really understand how like elo works in this game. I think it's just if you play a regular deadlock match, you're given an elo, something like that. It's kind of crazy. Is it every time you face a geist will straight up lose? Yeah. No, I've had bad times with the Lady Geist, but I don't know. I do appreciate that there's a pretty diverse cast of characters. Oh, I also do really like that they're the animations are really interesting, right? Like the zip lines, how a lot of them have different animations on the zip line. Like Doorman is stick straight. You're riding the zip line, and you have the Doorman who's like straight as a pole, right? And then you have Celeste who's like upside down. That's really cute. I'm playing Deadlock now. I'm gonna play tomorrow. Yeah, I think Deadlock might be a game that we're gonna play on stream a couple times. Not because I think I'm gonna be good, but because I think it might be kind of fun to play with friends, right? I don't know though. I don't know. There's no guarantee of that. It's just something I considered. I don't know if I'll play it though. I want to learn Tia Juggermans that she doesn't aim. Graves is also kind of funny. I like that she summons little guys, but I also don't like she summons little guys. Anyway. It's super easy to learn IMO. All she does is summon stuff, right? And then you don't really need to do a whole lot. Although I did see a Graves on my team once just delete the entire enemy team. Deadlock looks fun. Deadlock does look fun. It does indeed. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to lately. In the hidden area, watch the zombies run to the enemy base. Pretty much, yeah. I should probably try that character because if she's so easy, right? It might be worthwhile. Honestly, I'm surprised I got into Deadlock to begin with, though. I think when Deadlock came out, my friend gave me an invite to play. And I just like that was like getting out of Valorant, or I'd already gotten out of Valorant at the time. I just didn't really want to play another competitive game in a while. Full personality, but there's so many, they blend together so well. For sure. Easier to combine because it requires some planning ahead. I would never plan ahead in my video games. So yeah, no, between Deadlock and Marvel Rivals, those were the two that I was invited to play by a bunch of friends. I say a bunch of friends like I have a lot of friends. By two friends. Two friends told me to play one of the two. So, I just buried him flashing his pecs. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. So yeah, I'm surprised I got into Deadlock in the end. But I think what happened was I was playing board games with some friends. And one of them was like basically trying to like tell everyone else to play Deadlock, right? There's like, oh yeah, you should play Deadlock, right? And his partner was like, you guys don't encourage him. He already plays like 12 hours a day. Right? And because I was so like I think it's because of how they talked about it in particular. It wasn't even a friend I was close with. It was just like somebody else, right? Like a friend of a friend. I got pushed into it, and that's what happened. And now we're here, and now I play Deadlock, and that's very bad. Smiley face. Most wanted girls lovers. No, absolutely not. But plus side, I haven't been like overplaying. I think there's a point where I had like a bit of a gaming addiction, probably like 2020s or so. There's a point where I played Valorant like 8 hours a day, right? It was really bad. I wasn't even competitive, I'm pretty sure. I remember distinctly in like the 2020, like September or something. I remember playing like 8 hours of Valorant a day. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was so bad. I'm never doing that again. Passion's infectious? I guess it is, yeah. So I can silently judge you? Please don't. Please don't. I'm so fearful of being judged. Yeah, Valorant about to go up to 5 hours. That's horrible. I can't believe that happened. But yeah, no, I've been trying to like temper my gaming a little bit. Gonna make for a funny stream though. Man, guys, man. I'm so scared. I don't even know what the phases are. There's lane phase and then there's something else phase and then end game. Whatever, dude. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's hard. That's hard. But yeah, no, so I spent a lot of time drawing lately. I don't really know why. I guess I decided that I had a lot of like works in progresses that I wanted to finish. And also there's a handful of things I wanted to prepare for my next event, right? Before I go away. You can go through if you want. I'll think about it, but it's probably gonna be a while before we're gonna have a Deadlock stream, probably like a month or so. So it might be like up till the very end when I run out of games that we're gonna play Deadlock on stream, right? It might be till the very end. So maybe it's how I passed the torch. Perhaps, perhaps. But you know, you'll have to wait a while if that does come to pass. I'm gonna talk about my art a little bit real quick, but I will let you guys know I probably will cut the stream at 2 hours sharp because I probably will need water at that point, and I probably will be drinking a lot of water at that point. And I'll need to find a better solution than my mug because I only have 1 mug, and I probably need like 4 mugs to like hold me over for how much I stream. So anyway, informing you that now. Indeed. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, right? Because so reading is a time investment, and like you have to like put time aside to read, right? And so as what I've been doing is I've been listening to audiobooks while I draw, and it occurs to me that like for my specific combination of symptoms of like hold on. You done rank about that was 5 hours 25 minutes. God, you're killing me. You're killing me. Sorry. Anyway, big gulp cup. I might actually. I think my mom has like a Stanley cup. Maybe I'll have to use that. But anyway, so I've decided that my specific combination of like ADHD and autism. And for the record, I think we should elaborate that I've never been diagnosed, and I don't think I want to get diagnosed. So, grain of salt, right? But for my combination of symptoms relating to ADHD or autism, I decided that the perfect like combination of things I can have to focus is having an audiobook and also having music playing in the background. Why not get diagnosed? Because it wouldn't really change anything for me except for medication. I don't really think I need medication because I function properly enough. And also because there's a certain kind of discrimination and what's the word? When you get diagnosed, symptoms tend to because of your acute knowledge of what the symptoms are, you tend to act like you have a diagnosis almost. Does that make sense? There's a lot of nuance to that, and we can talk about this a little bit more later. But for my specific combination of symptoms, having an audiobook and having like instrumental music like this up is really, really beneficial for for focusing, right? By something, yeah, it's kind of like the placebo effect a little bit. I don't believe that that's the right term for it, but it is something to the effect. So I've been able to focus a lot more on creating work. Right, I pulled out one of my old works in progresses, and I'm actually like almost finished that. I've been thinking about I've been thinking about systems, God, for posting my art, because I don't really like social media for posting art, right? What if the music doesn't fit the story of the audiobook? Honestly, the fact that the music is there is enough. Like, I don't actually need it to fit the tone, unless sometimes I'll skip it, maybe. But, like, it doesn't really need to necessarily fit the tone for me to, like, have it in the background, right? Let your Bible write your Michael Jackson type beat. Exactly. You get it. You get it. But yeah, no, so I've been like quite focused while I've been working, and I've actually finished a little bit more than I expected to, but not as much as I would want to, if that makes sense. Right? But yeah, no, I've been thinking about how I want to post my work, because like on one hand, I know there are people who want to see my art, but on the other hand, I don't like posting. You guys, like, I feel like every single social media website is kind of terrible. And also, I just don't like the idea of having to save different files for everything. Like, how do I say this, right? When I post to Instagram, I have to do things like put up a song. I have to find a song that fits the mood of the piece in order for it to get certain kinds of attention. And that's, if I don't, it doesn't even get shown to all my followers. That's crazy. Right? You don't though. You don't have to, but like, I posted a piece, and granted, this, like, it could just be like sketch versus full art difference. You can make a portfolio website. I do have a portfolio website. It just doesn't have all my work. If I had all my work, it wouldn't be a portfolio website. Right? Sometimes I just want an archive of my work, just cause. But I had a post on Instagram a while back because my friends from Artist Alley and stuff have convinced me to come back to Instagram. And like it because it doesn't have as like I assume because it doesn't have a song, it has like a third of the views that my other pieces have. Right, that's crazy. And then there's like different amounts like catering to the algorithm that I don't really appreciate. And like Twitter is just bad in general because Twitter doesn't show you anything, right? Like if you follow somebody on Twitter, that literally means nothing. Stuff like that, right? I could do something like ArtStation, right? But I don't want to figure out a new website. I could do Pixiv, but again, Pixiv is kind of annoying because I'd have to. It's kind of a Japanese website, and so like you have to cater to Japanese things, right? I could just use it as it is, I suppose, but I don't know. I feel like because you're invading on somebody else's property, essentially, you should at least abide by their rules, right? Put it in the server. I don't know. I create a lot of different art for like different purposes, and I don't really know if that's something like if that's something you've consented to see, right? How do I say this? I have a small handful of work that's like just the littlest bit spicy, right? It's just like little bit suggestive, right? It's on my Twitter, so you could see if you wanted to, if you're curious what I mean by that. I just joined the Discord server. Thank you, I appreciate that. But like I feel like people who follow me for my streaming activities don't necessarily want to see my like very slightly suggestive, you know, couple art. I want spicy. It's art. Or sus art, yeah. Yeah. It is kind of sus. If the algorithm eventually lots of views and bringing new subscribers, nah, honestly, I'm happy the way I am here. I don't really care for subscribers or attention like that. Sorry, my brain just like took a leap of faith. A Discord channel with an age warning or something. Well, it's not about the age warning, right? It's more just like, do you consent to see my art, right? And like a lot of people just wouldn't, right? Also, do I want people on coming to my Discord server just to look at my art? That seems kind of ridiculous, right? It's like when you ask for somebody to like, oh, you want to subscribe to my Patreon? Like, and granted, lots of people have Patreon, but it is a whole other platform that you have to keep up with, right? Keeping everything onto YouTube, at the very least, keep things connected, right? That's kind of how I feel about that. Almost, I don't know. It's a lot of hard things, right? You guys have your attention like spread out enough as is anyway, and I don't really want to make it harder in that sense, right? I don't know. It's just so hard, dude. It's like Reddit is a decent art post. Is it actually? The issue with Reddit is that it's primarily a text-based platform, and so you have to go to like different communities to post your work. And like, granted, that's fine. But if people wanted to look at you as the artist, I think I would imagine it'd be kind of hard to scroll through everything there. Might you feel intimidated to be with personal to be blindly dropping adrenaline? I get that. Yeah, a little bit, right? Where's the spicy art as promised? Hold on, let me see my Twitter. I believe it should be on there. Yeehaw. I think I drew spicy. It's spicy. Asterisk. I drew a lot like last year in like June, July kind of vibe. Lars is unsafe, so it's true. Sitting Henchai, I was off doing something else for the last 20 minutes. I didn't hear a single thing you said in the time, but now I jump back here and start chatting. That is really interesting. And no one can tell the difference. It is true. That is true. I just know DeviantArt was good. I visited recently. It's a mess. I don't know what DeviantArt is like recently, but I used to have an account back there. I do. I think I went by a different name back then, but I think there is some like very poor old art from that I made back in the day. Thinking emoji. I don't know which ones falls into spicy. A lot of my like slightly sketchy pieces are a little bit suggestive, right? My Chilumi pieces from 2025 are kind of spicy actually. They're a little bit spicy, but it's like tasteful spice, right? It's tasteful spice. Who didn't start on DeviantArt, to be honest? Honestly, I think kids nowadays don't start on DeviantArt. I think kids nowadays just jump right into Instagram and then they cry when their art gets two likes, right? Kind of sucks. Honestly, technology I feel like has been such a really interesting. It's so interesting. A DeviantArt's page than not nowadays. Oh, that sucks. They should really have a filter for that, I think. I personally watch most art on Twitter. Why is my... Oh, someone else is using my Spotify. Jokes. Okay, well, you guys get to hear me. I think I have some BGM. Yeah, we'll listen to this one for a while. Because these guys deserve it to me. I judge it not spicy enough, make more. I don't know. I don't really appreciate. I don't really enjoy making spicy art for the sake of making spicy art. I like making art that happens to be spicy, but it's more like it has a feeling behind it. I don't know, something like that. It's cute. I like when things are cute. What was I saying? I saw a take recently on Twitter that like Twitter artists people find are more technically skilled and like more impressive than Instagram artists, where like people on Instagram cater more to the algorithm. Right? That's what I heard. I don't know if that's the experience you guys have, but that is something I was thinking about recently. I remember being a little surprised by the piece of the vulnerable medical imagery. Felt more raw than most of the one we had in that feed, but I consider it a pleasant one. My friend really likes that one, and they keep trying to like encourage me to make more. My helper at my Artist Alley booth, they're like, wow, I don't remember seeing this one. This is like my favorite piece of you. And I was like, thanks. When are you gonna make more, Latte? Oh, I don't know. Scratch his head. Do it for us. Well, that's the thing. I'm not socially oriented enough of an artist to do things because you guys want it, right? I want to draw things because I want it. I draw characters naked a lot because I love anatomy. That's fair, right? Anatomy is hard to draw, and I think it's impressive if you're able to do it. And if you appreciate the human form, that's really nice and that's really impressive, right? I personally like clothes a lot. I've been really into fashion lately. Have I told you guys? I haven't told you guys, I don't think. A great and powerful algorithm. We thank you for promoting our content on the daily ad review. That's what I'm saying. Helper? Yeah, no, I have a guy who helps me at my table sometimes in conventions because it's a lot of work and I don't like doing all of it. Latte commission sheet when? That's the thing. I used to do commissions and I hated it because I didn't like, how do I say? I respect other people's ideas and I like that they have ideas. I just don't like making their ideas come to life because I don't feel like I'm the right person for the job because I don't think I can draw things the way that they would want it to be because I am too selfish of an artist. Socially disoriented. I kind of am, aren't I? It's kind of bad. The medical art was pretty striking, I agree. I do like it a lot. I do think it's really cool. I do want to make something like that anymore, but I don't know if I have any more like, we'll say poignant like analysis of society and all that. That seems kind of hard. That's kind of hard. And I pay to draw Arcana. Don't you need the money? Don't you need a job? I don't feel like I could well, I mean, you're part of the membership and I can't kick you out. But like I can't in good faith like accept any other donations like that, right? Guy helper, how could you? Not my fault that all my girlfriends are artists already and are already in the Artist Alley. It's not my fault that none of my guy friends draw. Let it draw Mona Lisa for me right now. I don't know if I could. You can pay me, I'll draw Arcana for you. You didn't like it that. It's okay, what's not eating for what? Week 1, Arcana portrait. Week 2, ice soup. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me? That's crazy. I have thought about drawing more Arcanites though, but I don't think I have enough like narrative on top of my for my like I don't think I have enough like meta narrative for Arcanites in order to make a really poignant art, right? I drew a piece for free run recently. I think that one's kind of poignant. I want to talk about it a little bit actually here. If you guys want to follow along with my art analysis, my self-artist analysis, you can look up Not Chocolate on Instagram and Twitter, and you can pull up the free run art that you see. I soup in this economy. True. Did you ever see your ASL boards? It's fun to mess around in. I did see it. I didn't play with it myself personally because I don't think I'm creative enough to like participate in that, in like prompt building or like, you know, whatever. But I think it's fun as a social activity for sure. Anyway, but if you want to follow along, I drew a free run piece recently. I feel like a lot of freerun art kind of focuses on the melancholy and like the main narrative themes of the story, and I think that's fine, right? The yearning for like people that you couldn't say everything to, right? The kind of regret you would experience as like somebody who's outlived everyone else, right? I feel like a lot of art revolves around that, but I wanted to express a different angle to like freerun, right? I think there's something that's like there's a lot of other like really beautiful interactions, I think. And particularly, I wanted to draw like I saw a photographer who photographs their like parents and their children, right? And so you have the old people and the children in the same photo, right? And I really liked their work. What else you can find for them? And I wanted to draw like that kind of feeling, right, of like the elder Frieren like showing the ropes to Fern, and I felt like that kind of intimate like grandparental and like child relationship is something that's not really depicted in a lot of media. And it's warm to me because I think I had a really good relationship with my grandparents. They're all gone now, mind you. I no longer have grandparents. But I wanted to like have a piece that was like that kind of nostalgic, right? The photographer I'm thinking of is Kazuyuki Kawahara. Kaz Kawahara on twitter.com. So anyway. I think you're a fascinating little artist because I've never met an artist as pretentious and focused on reflection as you. Man. Well, it's fine. I've already accepted that I'm very pretentious. It's fine. Packet of ramen is now $2 nowadays. It used to be $1.20 for $1. That's crazy. Some people draw like a mercenary and that's their process great. At least you draw a more meditative way to process and maybe ultimately get things out. I think that's a great way to say it. Yeah, I do it as a way to like think about things almost, right? It's a nice way for me to like consider the world and like with my thoughts, right? I think writing is really helpful for that as well. Hard to squeeze out feelings that have already left onto the canvas, for sure. Kazuki Karuhara. My grandtie, they owe me a lot of birthday. Yeah, for sure. Then just evil and a bully, man. All these adjectives, huh? All these adjectives. That's okay. I've already accepted my fate. But anyway, we're past the 2-hour mark. We're actually not ending 2 hours sharp. But thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It's good seeing you guys again. I missed you guys. It's been well, it hasn't been lonely, but it has been like a very different little bit of time ever since, right? So it's nice to see you guys again. I'm glad that you guys are here. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's fun meeting you again. Yeah. I don't always have this much to talk about, so you know, it is what it is. Back to sleepless nights. So be it, right? So be it, I guess. I suppose. But yeah, no, I'll be back on Wednesday in 4 days. We'll probably do the Arknights event, was it? That they were having soon. So I heard. Right, thank you guys for joining me today. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. It's nice to see you guys. I already said all that, so I'll just go back to doing things. Also, book recommendations. I'm taking book recommendations. If you guys read anything, if you guys want to share anything you're reading, I am taking those. You can share those in my Discord, whatever. That's all I got, guys. This is the next 12-hour Valorant stream. Don't hold your hopes up for that. You're gonna do Enfield CC too? I'll consider it. I'll have to see what it's like. Maybe I'll do a whole stream dedicated to Enfield and we'll try it out. And then we'll see how the Enfield CC is like. Yeah. I recommend my fanfics. Well, you gotta send a link then, right? You gotta send a link if you want me to read that. But yeah, no, thank you guys for joining me today. Hope you guys had fun. I'll see you guys in 4 days. And it's gonna be back. Bye-bye!